Welcome back. We're going to be working on the next lab, or lab 3 officially, with Microsoft Azure, and today is going to be mainly focused on the osTicket, which will be the free ticketing system we're going to be using. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'll go ahead and turn this on, so that way you guys kind of track my mouse there. Makes life just that much easier whenever watching these little tutorials online. Alright, let's go ahead and open up a new window. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go to the portal. Alright, and we're going to, of course, set up a resource group and go ahead and create a virtual machine, so that way we can do this lab. One thing that I really enjoy about the course I'm taking is everything is based out of the cloud, so it gives you that background. But first things first, and also for those who haven't noticed, if you back that up, you saw that I was charged a few dollars from the last course that I did, and rightfully so. I've made like 2 virtual machines. I was in it for a while. They were communicating back and forth, good stuff. Feel free to check out that lab if you haven't already. But like I said, we're going to go ahead and create a resource group first. We can go ahead and name this one RG. I'll do it similar to like lab other GOS ticket. Okay, and we are on the eastern coast, or the east coast. Alright, as far as tags, just for habit's sake, I'll go ahead and keep putting that in there, even though of course this is optional. But like I said before in the previous video, coming from the corporate world where a lot of people touch a lot of different files, and I think it's just nice to be able to track those things. Alright, so the resource group was created, got a little notification that dropped down, so it definitely makes life a little easier when it's that quick, but sometimes whenever you're messing and creating virtual machines, obviously it'll take a little more time, which is the next thing that we're going to do. Alright, so you can always search virtual machines there. Go ahead and create. Select the first option there, Azure. Alright, so for the resource group, we're going to go ahead and select the one we literally just created. For the virtual machine name, and of course, obviously you can name this whatever you like. I'm going to go ahead and name it VM underscore OS ticket. Alright, and let's see there. Alright, so it looks like it doesn't like the fact that I put an underscore there. This thing definitely will yell at you, which is understandable. So let's just set that up. Okay, look at that. No harm, no foul. I wonder if it'll let me put a space there. Nope. It yelled at me even worse. Okay, no problem. Alright, so we'll go ahead and leave it as it is. Alright, so what we got next there? Alright, we're going to select Windows 10. This is what we're going to be working out of. Let's see. Yeah. We'll go ahead and do free services eligible, since this is a free subscription. For now, I want to make sure everything goes smoothly. Later on, when I actually have to start paying everything out of pocket, I guess we'll make sure we can select the different ones there. Alright. Alright, so here this is where we get to select the size. Obviously, the bigger the battery of the computer, the more it's in charge. For today, we'll go ahead and select the 4 virtual CPUs. And for username, this is going to be to actually log in to the virtual machine whenever we're using the remote desktop. I'll just keep it the same, JBDC. Put in the password I've been using. Alright, type it again for confirmation. Alright, nice. My brain's still working. Alright, let's see what we got next. Alright, so we'll leave it the same. Make sure you select this, or else things will not go well. I'll just do one quick glance over. Alright, so yeah, we should be good there. So click next on disk. I'll leave the defaults there. Next to networking. Alright, so we're also going to go ahead and leave the defaults. We don't have any network, so it's just going to automatically create one there. But at this point, we can go ahead and just click review and create. That's obviously where it's going to take some time to create the virtual machine. Our validation has passed, so now we should be able to create. Go ahead, hit that create button. Alright, so it's initialize deployment. Alright, so typically once you get to this screen, obviously as you can see, it's in progress. I guess depending on how strong of a system you yourself may be having, and of course how strong of an internet connection, probably depends on how fast Azure gets everything set up. Alright, let's go to resource. Alright. Home. Alright. So we have a virtual machine. We have a public IP address. We have firewall and network security there. We have a network interface, and of course this hard drive. Now what we're going to do at this point, we're going to make sure we go ahead and pull up remote desktop. I'm going to make sure we copy in the IP address. So go here to then we're looking for the public one. IP address is get copy. Alright. A little smaller there. And for those who are unaware, for the remote desktop in Macs, you want to make sure that you go to the app store and just type in Microsoft Remote Desktop. This is what the icon looks like, orange and white icon. If you're working out of Windows, of course, you can just go down to the Microsoft window and or the little search field towards the bottom left-hand corner, just type in Remote Desktop. It's probably going to look a little different, but it's no worries. Alright, so this was the virtual machine I had said less before, but no worries. Go ahead and delete that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and add one right now. We're going to copy that in. And this is where you would, of course, name it whatever you like. For this one, let's just put in VM osTicket. Alright. Let's click add. We see it there. And of course, that double click. It's going to ask for the username that we just created. So I just used my username as JBDC. So that's why I want to make sure to put in there. And then my password, of course, for you guys. Put in whatever you put there. Alright. Let's hit continue. Continue again. Here we go, guys. We're in officially the virtual machine. I've shown this before. For whatever reason, if some people think it's not in there, it's still the Mac laptop they were in before, but just expand it. And here's the virtual machine that we were in. Alright, so one of the things I want to make sure we open up Microsoft Edge, and I am going to actually minimize this again because I'm going to be copying, which is a little bit off screen right now, a URL, so that way I can access what the course refers to as a simple list, and also some links and some files that would be needed to be able to kind of make this a little bit more streamlined, which I appreciate. So what we're going to do here is always going to ask you whenever you first have the virtual machine, and since I'm trying to make the most of the free $200 credit Microsoft has also kindly given me, typically I delete the virtual machines after I'm done with a certain lab, just so that way I don't incur too many fees. So it's always going to continue to ask every time you set one of these up, do you want these little defaults here? So you click start with data, continue without data, don't allow, before we continue, just continue browsing. Alright, so there we are. Alright, so like I said before, I did copy URL. There it goes. So it's going to bring me to a simple list. Alright, got it. And we're going to make this a little smaller there. Alright. Sound look good. Oh, it's it made the whole thing smaller. Apologies there. So we'll just do this the old-fashioned way. Gotta love it. Okay. So this is our simplest we're going to be going off of. It has some links built into it. It's going to also connect to a Google Drive. Obviously the links are connected to a Google Drive there. I'll just go one by one, step by step, download the osTicket. But of course, if you guys have any questions of the video, you can always just pause it. And most of these, if not all of these, should be available with a quick Google search. Be able to download the majority of these things. So let's go ahead and let's get after it. I'm going to go ahead and click on the installation. There we go. Installation files. So it'll give us this other little folder here, which is pretty much a lot of these little links as we're going. Alright, so first things first, we want to make sure we install and enable IIS, which stands for Internet Information Server or Services. Fun. So the osTicket runs out of a website, apparently, and so since that IIS is what lets us use it, and that's what we're doing today, that's what we're going to make sure we do. So we can right click on this start menu here at the bottom left hand corner. We can click run. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and make sure we type in control panel. You can actually just type in control if you like. Hit OK. I just misspelled control. I think I did for 2 seconds. Alright, so here we have it. We're in control. Alright, next we want to make sure we hit the programs, and then we want to make sure once that page loads, you see this little shield here that says turn on Windows. Alright, so we're going to hit turn on some Windows features. Alright, so as you can see here, all different types of features. Some are checked, some are not checked. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to make sure we go down to where it says Internet Information Systems. Let's see, it's right here. Okay. Selected it. Alright. There we are. Alright, and so we're also going to make sure to expand where it says World Wide Web. There we are. Alright, and then the application developer. Alright, let's expand that. Alright, and you see where it says CGI right here? Alright, we're going to click that. Alright, and so looks like one of the reasons why we need to make sure that we install CGI is with IIS. CGI actually allows us to install what they refer to as the PHP manager, which osTicket. Nice. Alright, so I'm gonna close that. Close this. admin. Matter of fact, just drag it over right there. All right. 127.0.0.1. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, there we go. It worked beautifully. So we know that it did what it's supposed to do. Internet Information Services. Now I feel so much better about myself. Okay. I may have fixed that a little bit there with some edit magic, but sometimes it's just as simple as forgetting a period. It happens all the time. But we gotta make sure, just try to be as careful as possible. But that's why you gotta love it. Take your time, be able to troubleshoot. But anywho, so let's get back into it. So what we're going to do at this point is going to make sure we go to the list here for the PHP manager, so that way we can go ahead and download and install that. Apologies there, my mouse is reversed since I'm to a Mac. Let's open up a folder here for downloads. Once it's available, make it a little smaller. Download anyway. Shouldn't take too long. See? There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and open that up so we can install it. Exit that out so it doesn't get too bogged up. Alright, I agree. It's going to do its thing there. Alright, go ahead, close. Alright, so the next thing we're going to download is the rewrite module. So let's go ahead and exit that. Actually, I believe this is it right here. Scanning for viruses, oh so kind. Let's see if we click this one. Download from there. So let's try here. We have to roll the buttons. Just have to roll with the punches. Looks like it's trying. That's all I can ask, right? All I can ask for is try. Alright, yes, download anyway. Let's try it again. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull that up. Alright, so hit accept, we're going to install. It's going quite fast now. Finish. Alright, there we go. Now apparently, for those, if anyone is wondering at all, what that rewrite does, or what the rewrite module itself does, is it translates search engine friendly URLs into a format that osTicket uses, and it all happens beautifully behind the scenes. You have to love technology. When it works, it's beautiful. When it doesn't work, it can be a little rough around the edges, but no worries. Alright, so next we're going to go ahead and create our directory. So what we're going to do is going to make sure open the hard drive there. Go to PC. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and open up another window. So that way I can have another one for my downloads. That one off to the side. Alright, so PC, Windows, C drive. Alright, and so we want to make sure we create a directory, and we're going to name the file PHP. And you of course want to make sure you're in the right place as far as the hard drive. There it is. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to make sure we go ahead and create a new file. Actually, back that up. Do it again. Bring that mouse right back in the frame there. Alright. Well, same thing, just a different way of doing it. We're going to hit new folder. I'll put PH. Let's make it all capital. PHP. Why not? Enter. Alright, so now make sure to go ahead and go right back to our downloads. Alright, so next we're going to actually download the PHP file right here. Alright, so I'm not even going to bother and messing around with all these different files and these beautiful things we have going on, all these folders. We're just going to try to keep it simple and make sure we download it. Keep. Show more. Anyway, there we are. All right. Alright, so we just had to transfer those files into the PHP folder that we created, or the directory that we created on the C drive. We'll see if that works. Let's go ahead and head back here. Exit that. And next, let's go ahead and actually we already had that rewrite. I apologize. There we go. And download. Read this distributable. Alright, let's download anyway. Open downloads here. Oh. Back up there. There it goes. Let's go ahead and install that. I agree. Install. Alright, there we go. So we're able to get that installed. Next, what we're going to make sure we go back to download is going to be MySQL. So we can exit that out. Oh, there's a lot of different things here we got to make sure we need, but it's all going to help osTicket to run and operate correctly. Alright, yes. Download anyway. Alright, so we're going to make sure to install MySQL. Next, accept. And we're just going to do a typical installation. Make sure to install that. Alright, finish. Alright, so we got a little bit more. This one's going to be standard configuration. Alright, there we go. Alright, now right here, you want to make sure you take your time and put in the password that you're going to remember. If you need to write it down, feel free to write it down. I know it's not the best thing you want to do in a work environment. Put it on the file, but if you're just doing the labs like I am right now, that's something you of course can do, but to each its own. I'll go ahead and keep it simple. Alright, we're gonna retype it in. Alright. It's preparing the rest. There we go. Alright, apologize. I had to make sure I hit that button there. So yeah, what MySQL is going to do is actually create a database for this computer or virtual machine, however you want to refer to it as. And it is technically virtual machine, so that's what we're going to call it. But because it's going to use it to actually store all the osTicket data, like the tickets that it may use or may have, and the actual users as well. So MySQL, very important. Alright, so let's go ahead, search for IIS, and look what pops right up. Alright, we're going to want to right click that. We're going to click Run as an Administrator. Look at that, doesn't it look all pretty? And these are all some of the features and some of the things that we just recently downloaded that are now available to us. Alright, so let's see there. There, alright. So we're going to double click this PHP Manager. Register new PHP version. I'm going to click over here to browse. Alright, we want to make sure we're in the C drive, which it seems that we are. We'll make sure to click PHP folder. Alright, and then alright, so we have this selected. Alright, that's a beautiful thing. Also, just to double check for this right here, you want to make sure it has executable there in the bottom right. Of course, you can always go back, just double check that. So, I click OK. Alright, and we'll just right back. And they say it's great practice to make sure you refresh or restart the IIS anytime you make any changes. So let's go ahead and click that restart. You're gonna see it load up there again. Alright, so we're gonna move this over just a little tad bit. Exit this out, so we can go down to the osTicket. go up to the, go up to the installation files and see, make sure we can, the osTicket there. See it right here. Download anyway. There we are. Alright, so we have officially osTicket here. Alright, so next, what we want to make sure we do is we're gonna, the other file that I have set up, matter of fact, I can go ahead and minimize this right here just to make it look a little better and clean. I can minimize this as well. There we go. So we have two separate folders everyone can see. So we're going to move the upload folder into our C drive folder. Okay, so we're going to make sure that's right there. See this upload? Yeah, we're going to be moving it over. Okay, so we're going to just drag it over, just drop it. I was going to make it a little more difficult for myself. So I'm going to do, make sure we open up the inetpub folder. We're going to go to the www.root, and this is where initially I was going to move it to, but we can just drag and drop right directly into this folder. Make life a little easier for myself. Once the folder is officially successfully been copied over, we're going to make sure we rename that osTicket. Make sure also we're going to make sure we put no spaces in there, since it's going to need these files to be able to run correctly. And like so, we're trying to avoid. Alright. There we go. So osTicket. Alright, gotta love it. Alright, so we were able to go ahead and make sure to get that updated. Enter there. Now we're going to make sure we go back to our IIS system. Alright, so since we just did that and made the change, go back, reload. Alright, after there, we just did it, we're going to make sure we go down to where it says sites, default website, to osTicket right there. See that? That's beautiful. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and click on the browse 80. Alright. Guys, the fact that we're seeing this beautiful orange kangaroo means that we did it correctly. Alright, but we're not done yet. As you can see, there are a few other things here that haven't been set up just yet, so we're going to update just a few of these, and then we'll make sure we continue. But majority of the hard lifting is already done. Okay, so we're going to keep going. All right, so there's some extensions that we're going to need to make sure we update, so that way it runs smooth. So I'm going to go back into the, as a matter of fact, I can go ahead and drag this over here, just so we can keep things uniform. Alright, there we are. There it goes. PHP Manager. Just open that up. Alright, and then at the bottom under PHP Extensions, we're going to enable. Alright, let's see. We're going to enable a few things here. So they even have here on our list for us, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, so we're looking for PHP underscore IMAP, PHP underscore INTL, and PHP underscore OPCache. Alright. So look for the PHP IMAP first. Alright, I already see it there. Alright, we'll make sure you click enable. Alright. Next course, we're going for PHP INTL. Right there. PHP INTL. Just having my mouse fell right on it. Gotta love it. Alright, and last but not least, PHP OP cache. There it is. Alright, so we're gonna enable that one as well. Alright, so now at this point in time, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure we refresh our beautiful orange kangaroo here, and we should see a few more green checks down the bottom. Alright, look, you just saw it before your own eyes. Alright, so there we go. So it worked correctly. Alright, so we're good there. Alright, so let's open up. Here we go. Alright, so we're opening up this folder. We're gonna open up our osTicket folder. And we're going to click on include. Alright, open that puppy up. Alright, so we have it here opened up. Alright, and now we're going to make sure we do another where this include file. We're going to want to scroll on down to OST. I believe it's OST sample, and we're going to be changing the name to OST config. Alright, there we go. Yep, OST sample. Changing that to OST config. There we are. Alright, we'll hit enter. Alright. Now also another thing that's going to be happening is this osTicket installer that we're about to run here in just a little bit is going to need and be able to interact and manipulate that exact file. So what we're going to do is we're going to be able to change the permissions to give everyone access to it. Because we don't know what user the installer is going to use or what username, and then it's only going to be temporary access, but access nonetheless. Okay. All right. So we right click that file. Make sure we go down here to properties. All right. We'll click the security tab. All right. We're going to click advanced. We're going to add, look at that, cancel. Alright. Alright, so first we're going to do is disable the inheritance. And then we're going to hit remove all inherited permissions. Okay. And then we're going to hit add permission. Alright. And then we're going to make sure to click the select this permission. Oh, apologize, there's a blue link up top. Select a principal. Apologies. This is where we're going to type everyone. Alright, make sure you click check names. Okay. Alright, then we're going to hit full control. Make sure you click OK. Alright, now we're going to make sure we click apply before anything else. Then we're going to hit OK. And then OK one more time. Now we're clicking with fire. Clicking with gas, better yet. Clicking with gasoline. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to come back to our beautiful orange kangaroo. There we go. Alright, and we're going to make sure we click this continue button here at the bottom. Alright, so now we see a lot of blank fields, so we're going to help it out, make sure we start filling in some of this information. Alright, so for the help desk name, give whatever name you like. I'm going to stick to my lab, and just so happens my name is also Josh, so I'll call it Josh Help Desk. Alright, default email, Josh at, I believe it's helper.com. Alright, now keep in mind with some of the passwords and things like that that we have set up, this is where we need to make sure we differentiate. Because before we had SQL passwords, there's administration passwords. This is to make sure it's your admin information here. Okay. But Josh Keynes. We'll leave Josh for now. Josh at helper.com. Username, we'll make mine JBDC for the osTicket, because this is going to be osTicket administration that we're setting up here. osTicket admin user. Alright. Password, I'm keeping it real simple. Type in password 1. Typically I wouldn't make that easy a password. I'm going to show y'all. This is just tutorial based things right here. Password 1. There you go. Alright, so now we're coming down to the MySQL information. Alright, now keep in mind this is going to be a little different. This is based off of the MySQL information that you have written down previously, whether you put it in a file, piece of paper, tic-tac-toe, or I don't know why I meant to say sticky note. Tic-tac-toe. Sticky note. So that's what we're going to be putting here. Alright. Alright, so the username is going to be root. Password. Alright. I kept it very simple for that one too. You guys want to see password 1. Because all this is going to get deleted here very quickly. Alright, so next. There we have it. Alright. So next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to minimize this. Alright. Alright. See this Heidi SQL? That's going to be what we're going to be downloading here. Alright, it's downloading. It's coming. It's coming in hot. Downloads. Alright, looks like it's done, so let's go ahead and run it. So we have Heidi SQL, we have MySQL. So now this Heidi SQL is going to be like a database client, so something that we're going to use that helps connects us to the database and lets you kind of interact with it a little bit. Please make sure you accept the agreement. So it looks like pretty much list that anywhere. Alright, finish. Devices. I'm going back to our beautiful orange kangaroo browser. Alright. Alright, there we go. Alright, so how about we rename this osTicket? try minimizing it. Back to the browser. osTicket. Checking. Make sure to click install now. Okay, that's a simple fix. This wants me to have a different email than the default one. No worries. The Gmail there. Hey, congratulations. And exit that out. So looks like it's running. We installed it correctly. Had a few bumps along the way, but that's why we're still learning. Beautiful process. Beautiful process. But not done necessarily quite yet. The next part would be to see if we can log in, and this is the URL to log in. Let's go ahead and click that. Alright, now keep in mind, this is the osTicket admin login, so not the MySQL. So I'm gonna go ahead and type that in. Let's see if we can log in. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in. Success. Excelsior. Bazinga. Even though I didn't necessarily use Bazinga just quite yet. Correct there. But yeah, man, that's exciting. You know, we set up osTicket. We were able to make sure everything was set up correctly and installed correctly. There's a few times some issues with the downloading process, or just making sure we're clicking the right locations, making sure we refresh. But we did it correct, guys. And like I said, it's a tedious process, but it feels good to know that we did do it correctly. We definitely did do it correctly, and I am so glad that it went through and we were able to get everything situated. I apologize if it felt like I had low energy, but I was very late at night or very early in the morning, however you want to look at it when doing this lab. But feel free to like, share, subscribe. I'm always here for you guys, constructive criticism as we continue to learn together. Hopefully you guys have a great one. Bye-bye.